Actress Elizabeth Taylor remains one of Hollywood's most beloved Golden Age starlets more than a decade after her 2011 death. The actress won great acclaim for her performances in films such as Butterfield 8 and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, after her breakout performance as a child in 1944's National Velvet. Although Elizabeth was certainly a talent to be reckoned with on both the stage and screen, she was perhaps equally well known for her torrid love affairs and marriages, the latter of which she had 8 over the course of her lifetime. She was also a fashion icon. Join Facts First as we take a look at the magnificent life of Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor made her film debut when she was a young girl, appearing in 1942's There's One Born Every Minute when she was just 10. She would subsequently achieve stardom with her appearance a few years later in National Velvet, which saw her deliver an incredibly mature and considered performance for her age. At the time, she was 12, and she would use the stardom she attained from this film to jumpstart an incredible and varied entertainment career. As an adult, some of Elizabeth's most memorable performances included her turn in the 1960 feature Butterfield 8, as well as the 1965 feature Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. All in all, her career spanned over 6 decades, over which period she maintained both success and respect in the industry. Although she was certainly appreciated for her raw and emotional acting talents, she was also respected for her wardrobe, her jewelry collection, and her ability to start tabloid drama with her various beaux. Elizabeth was born in London, England on February 27, 1932. Her parents were American art dealers residing in London at the time. World War II started soon after her birth, prompting the family to return to the U.S. and settle down for a domestic life in L.A. Before marrying her husband and becoming an art dealer, Taylor's mom had been an actress. Because of this, Elizabeth grew up with a strong affinity for the arts. She had started practicing dance when she was just 3, leading to her giving a recital for Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret while in London. After relocating to California, a family friend noticed Elizabeth's performing talents and recommended that her parents have her screen test for a gig in the entertainment industry. Elizabeth's parents ended up taking her for a screen test, which led to the young girl getting offered a contract by Universal Studios. While 1942's There's One Born Every Minute was her first role in a feature film, it was 1944's National Velvet that made her a star. In between the two, she could also be seen in Lassie Come Home. Elizabeth and her parents had campaigned for several months to get her role in National Velvet. She appeared in the film when she was just 12, and the film was a huge hit. There were plenty other child stars around the time that Elizabeth Taylor broke onto the scene, but few of them had the maturity Elizabeth did. She became known for delivering performances that seemed wise beyond their years. Later on, few were surprised when Elizabeth showed that she was fully capable of transitioning into more adult dramatic roles after coming of age. At the age of 18, Elizabeth took on her most mature role yet, when she appeared alongside Spencer Tracy in Father of the Bride. Audiences were now more willing to accept her as a leading lady, and she had no trouble filling those shoes. She continued acting successfully throughout her early adult years, appearing in other features including Elephant Walk, Rhapsody, and The Last Time I Saw Paris. Until adulthood, Elizabeth Taylor had been known predominantly for her talent. However, in her adult years, she became equally well known for her torrid love affairs and numerous rocky marriages. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. When Elizabeth Taylor got into her adult years and started engaging in romances with other celebrities, the resulting tabloid material only boosted the actress's success in the industry. One of her strangest romances was to eccentric millionaire Howard Hughes. Howard was known for film production and his aviation hobby, as well as for his OCD tendencies and the fact that he preferred not to leave the house. Elizabeth entered into her first marriage when she was just 17. Her husband was wealthy hotel heir Nicky Hilton, and the marriage didn't last long. Her second husband was an actor named Michael Wilding. However, most Elizabeth Taylor fans and historians believe the true love of her life was actor Richard Burton, whom she married on 2 occasions. When Elizabeth started becoming tabloid fodder due to her rocky relationships, she didn't let that affect her dramatic performances. In fact, the drama in her real life arguably helped her channel more powerful dramatic performances on the screen and stage. She continued giving successful performances through the 50s, including A Place in the Sun and the hit feature Giant. 1956's Giant was adapted from the novel of the same name by author Edna Farber. And the film was also notable for the fact that it featured one of the 3 starring performances that Hollywood legend James Dean gave. Elizabeth matched the star and then some, and her raw talent helped James deliver a performance for the ages. A few years later, she gave another successful turn acting in the Hollywood adaptation of Tennessee Williams's play Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. She subsequently acted in another Tennessee Williams adaptation with Suddenly Last Summer. Both of these films garnered Elizabeth immense acclaim, but it was her performance in 1960's Butterfield 8 that netted her her first Academy Award for Best Actress. In 1958, Elizabeth's current husband died in a plane crash. His name was Mike Todd, and he was a film producer. After his death, Elizabeth became involved with his friend Eddie Fisher. Elizabeth's love affair with Eddie got too hot and heavy, and it ended up breaking off Eddie's marriage. Eddie and Elizabeth subsequently got married, though that only lasted for 5 years. It was after her divorce from Eddie Fisher that Elizabeth married actor Richard Burton. The two had met while working on the 1963 feature Cleopatra, and they married in '64. The relationship took the public's obsession with Elizabeth Taylor's personal life to a new level, as the two were constantly involved in drama. Elizabeth and Richard also engaged in plenty of dramas together on the screen and stage. In 1965, they could be seen again on the screen together in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Today, the film is considered slightly ahead of its time because of its psychological drama, and Elizabeth's central performance earned her a second Academy Award for Best Actress. In the years after her performance, her career and personal life went through many ups and downs, but the actress always kept her cool and made it through whatever obstacles showed up in her way. Some of her later career work included a guest appearance on General Hospital, though she decided during her later years she wanted to focus more on philanthropy than acting. Elizabeth had been a good friend of actor Rock Hudson, who passed away in 1985 after losing a battle to the then-new illness known as AIDS. After this, Elizabeth became passionate about finding a cure for the illness, starting the Elizabeth Taylor HIV/AIDS Foundation in 1991. The foundation was created for the purpose of supporting those who had been diagnosed with the illness, but most importantly for generating funds to help research cures. Although she was essentially retired by the 90s, she won numerous awards throughout the decade for all she had contributed to entertainment during her life. One such award was AFI's Life Achievement Award, which she was given in 1993. In the year 2000, she became a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire. During her later years, she had to fight through a variety of health issues before her death. She began suffering from congestive heart failure and diabetes during the 90s, and also had to have both of her hips replaced. In the late 90s, she had to undergo surgery to have a brain tumor removed. After a successful heart surgery in 2009, Elizabeth started experiencing pain again and ended up passing away from her congestive heart failure on March 23, 2011. She was 79 years old and survived by 4 children. Now it's time to hear from you. Comment down below to share which of Elizabeth's performances you enjoy watching the most. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.